remember, we always talk about what people can't touch. And if they're not, if it's not something tangible that they're spending on that they could touch and feel, right? Or they could say, hey, look at me.
Yeah.
The fact that you spending your time to better yourself and you paying for that, right, shouldn't be a deterrent. It should be an anchor or some sort of something that propels you forward, right? And that's a big deal when it comes to, like we always ask, I ask people a lot, especially our business coachees, what you reading. People don't have time to read. Well, you have audiobooks. What are you listening to, right? So to your point, how can I eat and still give you advice? Yeah. You want me to tell you exactly what to do. And then there's struggles behind wanting to let me eat too. Let's partner together. You're accountable, I'm accountable, you commit, I commit, or we commit, and then we go out here and we split whatever we need to split, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm saying it in terms of that if I have to come up with the ideas for your goals, then I'm not advising you anymore. You see what I'm saying? Like I so then I'm 30 seconds from saying that I could just hire you to execute this. And the thing is, oh wow. Point number 2. No, but if you were finished with your point, you know what I'm saying? I was just saying that my thing was that people don't have goals. So that makes it hard to partner with them too. So I'm saying if you're consulting and you coaching somebody and you going through the coaching process and you realize that the person just is not able to take their idea and put it to a quantifiable goal, and they lean on you as the advisor to do it, you're like, are we partners now? Because I'm going to tell you this.
No, because I pay you to tell me what to do.
No, you don't. You might tell me, but I can't tell you what to do if I don't know where you're going. You could pay.
But you know where I'm going because we talked about this.
No. I talked
Remember
about
our first conversation, our consultation?
Yeah.
Like 1,800 months ago.
Yeah. Well, you haven't done anything we talked about up to now to get there, so clearly you don't know. That's why. This is why
I've been reaching out. I mean, I've been calling and emailing. And
that's what I'm saying. You haven't been doing. That's the whole point. That's the exact point.
So to your point, to this point, to the book point, which is equalizing your point. The point number 1 is to be productive, you got to commit to setting goals.
Yeah,
right?
that's
to your point, your second point, to their point number 2, the most difficult challenge people face is not the lack of knowledge, which is true. It's the lack of execution.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And then to your third point, which was that line. So it's this times this equals this, right?
Exactly.
Consistent action is the key. Right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's a mentality, but all of this stuff is a mentality. And it's definitely a mistake. But the third point that I pulled out from the book, which from our little scenario there, and this typifies it. The reason I put it last is don't mistake interest for commitment when developing.
Ooh, I love that one right there.
Yeah. Bro. And that's where we get the challenge.
Should we put that in the bottom of the letterheads?
Well, that's
all our letterheads.
Yeah, that's dude's words. You can just put it in quotes somewhere. Yeah,
that's what I mean. Quotes. We'll do it.
But see, that's something that it don't need to be on a letterhead, because if you get a letterhead from us, you need to be past that.
True.
Because I don't need to, and that's what I'm trying to say. That like, you know, you're something's interesting. This is an idea, a great idea, or something. But and it's really coming from your situation, commitment. You know, we have these words that often get thrown around, and people don't like everything we've talked about today can be tied to commitment. And you want to get, you know, financial literacy, commit to it. You could go take a class. They'll have workshops. They have workshops all the time. But guess what? You got to go home and establish a budget and create the habit of following a budget. No workshop can do that for you. You know, if you want to start investing, someone could set you up on a platform. Go ahead, do this, do that. But you have to do your own work to find out what I'm comfortable investing in, so on and so forth. You have to do that. No one else could do that for you. You start a business, and you come. I'll just put this in. I don't know how much money you need to make to live. I don't know, nor do I want to unless we have that type of relationship. So you have to say, look, I got to make at least $5,000 a month, at least for me to be okay and do what I need to do. Now we got an idea what we need to do. Now, so all the fancy stuff that we talk about, yeah, this you know, which then I'm not making it small.
Minimize,
minimize it. Yeah, you know, it's rough out here. It's like, you know, when we talk about process and we talk about other stuff, but it's fundamental. What are we building a process for? A company to do what? To do how much? And because there's no need to build a process and then on the back end, every time I talk to you, but I ain't making no money. Okay. Or we do the tax return. I didn't make that much money. Actually, you did. It went through the bank account. But guess what? You spent 25% more. So you don't have any cash, but you made the money.
Right.
And I don't even know how much money you make. Because if you tell me you didn't make money, I look, you might have had a profit of $50,000. And I can see you took $50,000 out the business. Man, that ain't no money. Maybe not to you, but I don't know that. You might be like, I need 125 a year. I can only get 50. Okay. Yeah, that wasn't a good year for you then. How can someone know that? But you have to know that. So there's a commitment level to, you know, like doing things beyond just the base function of your business. The same thing we say, doing more than just sitting in the workshop saying, I'm going to improve my financial literacy by sitting in this 2-hour workshop. And when I walk out, I'm going to be financial literate. So I think I told you yesterday, I said, so that's like you learn to read at the 3rd grade level and somebody gives you a 12th grade book. You can read, but you can't read that. You can't understand that. Yeah. It's over your head. So how do you have to continue to learn to read higher and higher level of stuff. That's why, I mean, and well, I'll tell you, this show is off the chain. We go all over.
It's crazy, man.
We about to be out though, but I'm just saying, one of the things I think we talked about it on here, we might have about the reading level. Like most people, you know, it's capped out 6th grade or whatever it is, 54%. But one of the reasons is that people stop reading. And that's where to almost go full circle from back where some of the economic anxiety is going to. This is where it's going to come from. That in a knowledge-based economy, how can you stop reading?